Oh, really?
Hey, it's meteorologist Cory Reppenhagen here with the 9 News Weather Impact Team. Take a look at your weather information and your forecast. You might be feeling those winds starting to pick up just a little bit here across the front range, the lower front range as well. Just kind of we call it a prefrontal push, just out in front of the cold front. The winds start to push up, and those may increase over the next few hours before they release themselves here over the next, let's say about 4 or 5 hours into 8 o'clock hours. So let's take a look at those wind gusts right now in the computer graphics here. The current wind gusts on the front range are starting to pick up, as you can see there, between the 10 and even 30 mile per hour gust. Just had a 32 in Arvada, 26 at Denver International Airport. Not quite as gusty in the foothills, but up on Loveland Pass, they just had a gust of 45 miles per hour, and that is got some snow involved with that. So there's a combination of wind and snow in the mountains. And up in the northern front range, we're starting to see some pretty good gusts here. These will probably increase as the front moves into the area. So if you take a look up into the high country right now, this is Arapahoe Basin, currently 20 degrees and snowing. Doesn't look like it's quite as windy at Arapahoe Basin, as you see some snowboarders getting on the lift there. But on the other side of the pass at Loveland ski area, you can see the wind really kind of blowing the snow, and the visibility is much more reduced on the Loveland side of Loveland Pass. As you see some snowboarders coming down Tango Road and home run, getting down back into the base area, or maybe getting back on the lift if they want to go finish this afternoon of skiing. Getting a little bit of fresh snow out there. This winter storm, this mild winter storm that we're in right now, will go on till about 8 o'clock tonight, and it'll be mostly contained to the northern mountains, as you see here where the winter alerts are. Winter weather advisories for 4 to 9 inches in the Medicine Bow Range, Rocky Mountain National Park, all the way over to Rabbit Ears Pass. Maybe a little bit more snow and some stronger winds up in the Park Range and the Sierra Madre Range. And we do have a winter storm warning in the Snowy Range in Wyoming, and that will come with possible 60 mile per hour wind gusts up in that area. If you look at the live radar right now, you can see clearly that the storm is contained to the northern mountains, mostly north of I-70, but we are seeing snow on I-70, at least the passes as well. And that mostly Berthoud Pass and Loveland Pass for the most part in that area. Fairly light snow, but with the wind blowing as much as it is, you can see the visibility issues that there is presently in the high country. Let's look at Futurecast to see how the rest of the afternoon and evening hours will play out here. We'll see continual showers in the mountains up until about 8. And they'll be widely scattered and mainly focused on the northern mountains. Not so much action, if anything, down to the south in the San Juans and even parts of the Sangre de Cristo Range in the wet mountains. Probably not going to get too much out of this. But when the final push from that cold front comes through, it'll shift the winds on the front range of more of a northerly component, and when we have north winds and just a little bit of moisture in the air, you get a little bit of convergence on the south end of the metro along the Palmer Divide, and so we could see a few light showers develop and try to put down some precipitation, but the problem is there's very dry air below us, and so not a lot of that will actually reach the ground. So I don't expect a lot of impacts here on the front range. And then, after 8 o'clock tonight, it really starts to clear out, although tomorrow afternoon we may cloud up a little bit as we try to get some of this cold air out of the way. Here's a look at the snowfall forecast from this point forward, so from 2 o'clock to about 8 o'clock tonight. We'll see still could get another 1 to 3 inches in some of the mountain towns, especially Winter Park and Steamboat Springs, and it's still possible to get a good 3 to 6, maybe 3 to 5 more inches on the mountain passes and some of the ski areas. Although I'm looking at some of the snow cams from the mountains, and Winter Park doesn't quite have 2 inches yet. Steamboat Springs doesn't quite have 2 inches yet. So we may end up kind of on the lower end of this unless the snow continues to fall beyond 8 or 9 o'clock, which doesn't look to be too promising. So we might end up more on the 4 to 5 inch range on some of the ski areas, but there's still time left in this storm before it starts stopping. So, and this will be the last snow for a little bit of a while as we enter another dry period. Here's the forecast for the rest of the night here in the Denver area. Not really seeing any reason to put a raindrop or a snowflake icon in this forecast, even though obviously there is a scenario with those converging winds that I mentioned that we could see some showers form. The problem, again, like I said, is the dry air below it. It might be one of those situations where you see 2 or 3 raindrops on your windshield. Let's take a look at the Futurecast here. I'll back that up just a little bit. As you can see, once the main part of the front comes through about 5:30, we get those convergence areas along the northern edge of the Palmer Divide. Places like Deer Trail, Kiowa, Elizabeth could get these snow showers develop. And even though it looks somewhat promising on the Futurecast and some of the computer modeling, the problem is a lot of this will dry up before it even hits the ground. So we may not even really, it may look like it's snowing or raining, but we're just not seeing anything at ground level. And that could continue all the way until about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then once the cold front is passed and the winds calm down and the air dries out, then we'll pretty much see nothing after that. No precipitation left on the Front Range, and the mountains will probably start to dry up as well, except for some orographic flurries, just when the wind gets a little bit of lift from the mountain ranges as we go through, but that usually doesn't actually amount in any meaningful accumulation. And we may see some cloud cover there at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning as some of this colder air sits in the Front Range. And so it'll probably take a while to warm up on Wednesday morning. But once we clear that cold air out of there, I think we will still be able to get our temperatures up above 50 degrees. Let me take a quick look at the wind forecast here for the rest of the night, because we're starting to see those winds starting to pick up. And I think as the cold front comes through, we could see maybe some 40 mile per hour gusts up until about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And then once the main front is passed, the winds kind of calm a little bit, and we lose that opportunity to get precipitation. So it's just that when the wind pushes up against the northern edge of the Palmer Divide, just get a little bit of convergence and we could see some showers develop. And then tomorrow we'll see the winds shift back out of the south again as we start a bit of a warming trend. By the way, the mountains and foothills stay windy and breezy all the way through tonight, even past the 8 o'clock hour when that storm kind of ushers its way out of here. We'll see the winds continue in the mountains and the foothills. But here's your forecast for tomorrow, for Wednesday. I do think that even though it's going to be a pretty cold start and it'll be a little tough to get the warm air going, I think by noon, 1 o'clock, we start to see that sunshine, and that will quickly boost our temperatures above 50 degrees, and it may even get up to 54 is the most probable or the most likely high temperature for tomorrow. And then we'll see the temperatures in the high country raise up a little bit as well, as they'll probably get a little bit more sunshine and getting the temperatures up into the 40s to enjoy whatever little powder that this storm does bring. We fully expect to see at least a few inches on some of the ski areas on the snow report by tomorrow morning. So it's looking pretty decent, except for down to the south. And then we talk about this pattern, the weather pattern that we're in. You see the bend of low pressure there kind of to the northeast of Colorado right now. That is the little storm system that's impacting our weather today, and that'll push out of the area to our east as we go through the day tomorrow. And then behind that, just a little bit of a weak ridge of high pressure developing, and it could last a while, but it doesn't look too strong, not like strong enough to get record high temperatures, but it does look like it will be able to deliver not maybe 2 or 3 or more 60-degree days to Denver. So that's your Christmas present from the Grinch. If you like snow in Colorado, you get the week leading up into Christmas, you get a high pressure ridge with nothing but dry air and warm temperatures. But there is some good news, because a lot of the modeling suggests that that pattern, that terrible pattern that we've been locked in for the last 17 days, will likely start to break down around Christmas Day. So I think it might come a little too late to actually deliver some snow to us on Christmas morning, but at least it opens the door to get some snow towards the last week of December. But until then, your 7-day forecast here looking pretty mild and dry as we go into the upper 50s and 60s for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and we'll probably still be in the middle 50s for Christmas before the change comes. Hey, and don't forget, you can watch the Avalanche for free on Channel 20 on Friday night as they look to get back on a winning streak after a little bump in the road against Vancouver. We'll get things started here on Channel 20 on Friday night. That's the forecast. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.